Welcome back.
Welcome back. Good evening.
I'm your host, Coach Sid.
And I'm your host, Tan Tan.
So again, is that the welcome back version or is that the Mace version? Which
I'm going to go with your version today.
You gonna go with mine today?
I'm switching it up. I'm going with your version today. So welcome back, everybody, to Meet Us in the Trenches, where we go live every other Monday at 7 p.m. here at Moe's Seafood. Make sure you guys come in, get some food, get some drinks, have a little fun with us.
Yeah, often imitated but never duplicated.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me just put a quick reminder out there that it is Women's History Month. It is Women's History Month. Have you done any nice things for your lady this month?
Well, I haven't. I forgot all about Women's History.
Oh, no, you didn't. It should be every day. But, cook us some dinner or something.
Come on,
get in that kitchen.
You told me you ain't cooked today.
Look, I was busy today. I ain't cooked today.
So we want to say happy St. Patty's Day for those who celebrate that. I look out in the crowd and see a lot of green going on. Mm-hmm. And so what are your memories on St. Patty's Day? Do you celebrate St. Patty's Day?
I will say that I went out this weekend for St. Patrick's Day. I went out. I had a little fun.
Okay.
I had,
Yeah, so you went to the concert. Tell me a little bit about the concert last night.
Oh, so the Millennium Tour was in the CFG Arena this weekend. I had a blast. Like, it was too much to even talk about, but I saw Bow Wow, I saw Trey, I saw Marion. It was, Boozy was there, Rick Ross was there, Nivea. It was like such a dope concert. It was
but I thought them artists was kind of like old school, so they still got a nice following.
They have a nice following, yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
I used to have all the posters on my wall, so I had to represent back
So
for the millennials. I had a little light up belt and everything. Remember that little LED light up belt? Remember that?
So who's your favorite?
I have to pick a favorite. It's gonna be Trey. Songs is gonna be Bow Wow.
Yeah, so you got the Bow Wow autograph.
It's gonna be Nivea.
Yeah, you got the.
Those my top three for the night. Omarion did his thing too.
So you watch like 106 and Park and all that back.
Yo, I used to live at 106 and Park. Being from
wow.
New York, I used to be there every single time.
Oh wow.
That was a vibe. So even
Nice.
my shirt said 106 and Park
Oh
on it.
wow.
But it was a vibe. But
Okay.
do you have our facts of the day? Our black facts.
Okay. So our black fact was Madam C.J. Walker specialized in hair products for African Americans. Hair and became the first American woman to become a millionaire. Not just a black woman, she was the first American woman to be a millionaire selling y'all that hair crap. You used to wear that hair crap?
So I used to wear that hair. I used to get my perms and everything. I remember my first time getting a perm. My hair was so silk and straight. I was like, ooh, this is nice. I grew up and I was like, that's really not for me. I love my natural hair. If I want to get it straightened, I can straighten it naturally, but I don't do perms no more.
Oh, man.
It's scary. They say it causes cancer, and I'm hearing that a lot of the braiding hair causes cancer, so that's a lot of research we need to do as well, because I like to get my hair braided. So.
Also, let's shout out our state champion high school basketball team in Baltimore, Baltimore City College. Shout out to Coach Omar, his staff. Great job. We made a run for. We had another run. I think Newtown made it and lost, and we had Emerson, who was a state champion last year, lost to the C School with like a second on the clock. So and I heard they didn't lose a game in like 3 years. So shout out to Coach Danzler. I know that's fuel to the fire for next year. So they're gonna be ready to roll. Anything else on our intro?
I just want to bring up something that I read and I found out that's really interesting. Apparently, my brother told me that Bernie Mac used to call them test tube babies, but they're creating artificial wombs. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about bag babies is what I heard.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
So I did a little research on that, and I just want to read more about it, because if that's something that's going to be happening, I'm not really feeling that, because where's the bond between the mom and their baby? And
They don't think they need each other no more, right? It's
We're
crazy.
needed, okay?
Yeah.
We're needed. I think let's look into that. Let's try to ban that. It's a little
Yeah,
crazy.
technology going into the matrix.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pros and cons for it, but
So who do we have today? What's our show about today? Who do we have?
today we have Malik Hamm coming in from the Baltimore Ravens, and we also have Quintel in the building. It's gonna be an amazing show. I'm so excited.
Good.
I can't wait.
Shout out to our sponsors, Brainstream Media, Tone Drone Productions, Mo's Seafood, and Play It Again Sports. Where?
Timonium.
Timonium. And we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divides through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.
Yeah, we're back. I'm your host, Coach Sid,
And I'm your coach, Tan Tan. Welcome back to Meet Us in the Trenches. We are here with our first guest. I'm going to have him introduce himself to you guys, and we're going to get into our questions for you as well.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited to be here. It's always an honor to be on the podcast and share, especially with people from Baltimore in the city, right? Because we need to spread the word about what we got going on here, too. So my name is Quintel Harcum. I founded Good Parting Company a few years ago. It was a plant-based health cafe and juice bar. Became the first partner at Johns Hopkins to launch a juice bar and their health and wellness curriculum. And then after the success of that, I launched Green Book Digital, where I do digital marketing for service-based businesses.
Can you tell us a little bit about your business? And I was on your Instagram, and I noticed that you worked in a cubicle for a little while. Like, how did you know that you didn't want to work in a cubicle anymore, that you wanted to go to your next step, your next phase in life? And how do you know when it's time to sell and move on to your next thing?
So to answer the first part, I always had aspirations to be an entrepreneur. That cubicle was just a pit stop. But it got real because around year 8, I was like just finding different types of businesses. I had a business that was pretty successful with my friends, and we ended up closing it. It was a bad business deal and stuff like that. So I had to just like pivot and figure out what I was doing. But luckily I had that job in the cubicle, right? I didn't really take it for granted. I was like, I got to be my own boss in my cubicle. But around year 8, I looked up and I was like, man, I'm not getting no motion. But then year 10 came and I realized I didn't have an exit plan because I got a 10-year anniversary pin. And I was like, damn, I've been here 10 years and I'm not on my way out. Like, I'm slacking. And then that's what really put the battery in my back to go and figure out how I was going to launch a real business that I could actually like live off of. And what was the second part of your question?
Next part was, how do you know when to like sell and move on? So you used to have a shop in John Hopkins. So how did you know that it was time to move on from that?
So when I was starting my business and just talking to people who are more experienced than me and reading about it, people always say start with the end in mind and have an exit strategy, and that's really hard to understand when you just starting a business. So you don't really know when you need to exit, but you should have that. Now that I'm a bit more experienced, I understand it, and you should be ready to move on if the business doesn't serve you anymore, if you're getting burned out, if you're not good, or if you know what your price is, right? So some people are going to exit for a good amount, and sometimes you just got to take what you can get, and then make that move on to the next thing.
Man, you look like you about 15 years old, man. So if you started your own brand, you must have did that really early. And I see that Coach TJ has on one of your shirts from back in the day. He told me he was going to bust it out the closet and put it on. But that's like a segue to, we have a video of yours that kind of posted on Instagram, and we want to segue right to that.
2017, decided to open a juice bar. 2018, I hosted pop-up selling juice and t-shirts from my one-bedroom apartment. 2019, I got approved to open my first location in Baltimore's popular Mount Vernon. In 2020, finally opened my doors during the pandemic and helped my community stay healthy during a scary time. In 2021, I expanded to a second location, became the first wellness and cafe operator, partner at Johns Hopkins University. I designed some merch to celebrate, and I'm dropping what's left on Black Friday. 2022, I resigned from my 14-year career with the government. In 23, I got courted to manage another shop in New York. In 2024, I closed the cafe and launched a brand strategy agency because if I can do it once, I can do it again and again. Team decided to open a juice bar.
So
2018.
Let's talk about Quell Collections. When did you get started with that, and how far did you apex that?
So I started Quell Collections in 2010, 2011. It seemed like so long ago, but I was always like into like design and just shopping and fooling around with sneakers like the rest of the guys in Baltimore do. But having that job in the cubicle, right, we had flex time, so I could work a certain amount of hours within the day and be able to go do other things. So I got accepted to FIT for fashion design. So when I went there for graphic design for fashion, was called. So I told my manager, I was like, hey, I got school outside of this, so I'm gonna leave every day at 10 o'clock, but I'm gonna work over, right, within that flex time. So anyway, that led me to FIT. From FIT, I started to get a bit of a handle in like the fashion space, and so that's when I launched Quell Collections. I was around a bunch of other fashion folks. I was going to trade shows. This was like fashion blogging was a thing, so social media wasn't popping. So people were still like dropping blogs, and I was trying the personal blog thing, but I wasn't really that good at it. But the design thing I kind of had a better understanding over because I knew graphics or whatever. So I started that making like wooden bracelets at the time. Like wooden accessories was popping for like black guys back around that time, like would be bracelets and necklaces and all that type of stuff, right? So I started out with some accessories, then I got into like t-shirts, and because I was around the fashion fly kids, I thought I could just go do cut and sew, but it's like mad expensive, and if you don't have no experience, you lose a lot of money. So 2011 is when I started it, but I started to really mix it up, like in New York, and so I started finding manufacturers and suppliers, so I was getting some cut and sew done. Around 2015 or so, I started realizing I'm not good at this because I had to do everything. So I wasn't really good at marketing it. So I got it up to a point where like I was able to get a leather jacket made. When I got to that point, I was like, I can't mass produce this. I don't really have enough money to really get it done. So I was like, you know what? I can just gracefully bow out. People like it, but I can't really give it what it need, and I don't know enough. I don't really have the opportunity to get partners and things like that. And like she said, sometimes you just gotta know when to just wrap that thing up. I had other opportunities, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to just wrap up Quell Collections. So once I dropped the last collection, it was called Forever Underground. That's what my man TJ is rocking right now. The leather jacket, it was made in London. That joint came back fly. I was only to get like 10. You got to get like certain quantities. Got like 10 of them done, sold them for a couple hundred each, and then that was really it. I wrapped it up in 2015, 2016.
Speaking of many opportunities, it sounds like you're a man who wears many hats. Now, I heard that you were also a party promoter for Schoolyard ENT. You used to like throw some big parties. What was the name of the club? Red Maple, something like that. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is how it really went down. So crowd collections, I started in my cubicle at my first job before the government job. So I started sketching crowd collections in my cubicle. At the same time, me and my homies got together like, yo, we should throw parties. And we kind of had the perfect storm. It was called Schoolyard because we hung out at the schoolyard around my way. It was us. At this time, everything was promoted for like 30 and over was the name, was how they tagged clubs, right? It wasn't grown and sexy. Everything was 30 and over. But we was fresh out of college. So it was either go to hopper parties with college kids or try to get into the 30 and over. But we, like the girls in 30 and over clubs don't like us, right? We too young. We could barely afford to buy a drink. So we had a whole market of people who needed parties to go to around our age. So we was like, this is what we gonna do. And I was showing my homies my sketches. They was like, yo, this joint is, it's all right, it's cool. They were showing love, but I knew some stuff was good, some stuff was bad. So I put crowd collections on the back burner so that we could do the party thing. And I just gave that all my focus. So me and the homies just like really turned it up on the party tip. And I always give a shout out to Mark Baltimore, RIP. He passed away now, but he was a black promoter at Red Maple. So this is down on Charles Street. Now it's called Sangria. Mark Baltimore was having parties. They was called Soul Candy. It was fly. All of the 30 and over girls with taste, like they was in there. It was amazing. So we went to Mark first, just out of respect, like, yo, we want to do some parties here. Would it be okay if we had parties, behind your parties? And he was like, yeah, sure. So we hit the club owner up. He cut us a deal, and we ain't look back. Like we turned that joint up. Like we paid, like the ventilation that they had changed after a year us. Like we was really making a lot of money for the club. And then we started doing a few other spots in the city, but that was our flagship event. Red Maple every last Sunday, and me and my homies did a really good job with it, so I'm really proud of that.
That's fire. I also hear that you're a vegan. So can you tell me if you were always a vegan? Like, why choose vegan? Why not pescatarian? Why not, like, what made you choose that lifestyle? Is that something you always did?
It seems like everything we talking about goes back to that cubicle. It took up so much of my life, man. But my mom is a 20-plus year cancer survivor. So I was always kind of health aware. I won't say I was always health conscious, but I was health aware. And then that whole stretch of doing parties, like you up late, you drinking, you eating late, you hustling and busting, moving around. We got to go and host all these happy hours, and it kind of weigh you down. So once that business was over, I was like, man, I need to do something that just make me feel better. I need to get more energy too, so I can go start a business. Like you work long hours trying to figure that thing out. So I was like, I need to improve my energy and just get back to feeling better. And I never really ate a lot of red meat, so that was kind of easy. So I didn't have to make a big transition. And then I was in the cubicle listening to a podcast where Russell Simmons was talking about being vegan. Like this was before all of the things with Russell Simmons. And I was like, man, Russ been vegan all my life, like since I know who he was in the hip hop space. And I like how he was moving. He was in hip hop. He was smart. He was getting money. He was a boss behind the scenes. All that type of stuff really inspired me. But what he was talking about, it was about the ethical decision to not eat animals. But I like the health benefits more than anything else. So that's what made me just decide to go plant-based. And so 2011, I had my birthday. I said, when I come back from this birthday celebration situation, I'm going to just start making the transition. And that's what I did.
So let's talk about the juicing. When did you start that, and what benefits does it have? And give us a brief synopsis on that.
Sure. So when you plant-based, this was before it was as in vogue or as popular or as accessible as it is now. So I'm already plant-based, so I'm going to all the places that's already selling juice. It's a little harder to get to. Pricing is still about the same, but it seems mad expensive compared to all of the sodas that we used to and the high C or whatever the case may be. But I was kind of used to it at the time. The reason I started the juice business and really just getting into it is I knew that my homies would hit me, the same homies I was doing the parties with and the people that would come to my parties. They was like, yo, I know you be on that health stuff. Like, what's something good I could drink to help me with, I got this going on, I got that going on. Or the most popular thing was I need to recover from this hangover because I got to go to work in a couple hours. So I would just give them recipes, right? Because I had to figure it out because I was, helping fix myself. Tan. So I was just like giving them the recipes.
Take
and
notes,
so,
Tan.
Yeah, so that was one of the main benefits, right? Hydration, recovery, right? Brain fog they was dealing with. I don't know anybody had anything serious like any kind of liver problems or anything like that. But a lot of my friends are athletes, like they play basketball and stuff. So I would recommend different things. Like for example, beet juice is good for energy, right, and getting oxygen to your blood. So I would recommend things like that. And so that's kind of how I got into it, so I can just help my friends improve their health.
I also hear that you were into basketball. So can you tell us like what you're looking forward to with the NBA playoffs and everything?
Yeah, so Coach Sid just mentioned City. So I graduated from City. I played all 4 years at City.
Oh, man.
2 years JV, 2 years varsity. I played under Omar Smith. That's my big homie. We grew up around the same neighborhood. So shout out to O, shout out to Lil O and everybody else at City, Coach Warren, everybody. So yeah, I play high school ball. And right now in the NBA, like, I only watch highlights. I don't watch sports as much, but the only sport I really do watch is NBA. I think it's pretty exciting. You know, the Lakers got Luka Doncic. Other teams are really good now. Cleveland is good without LeBron James. So I always just want to see really good basketball. I like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. So I will say one thing, though. When the Celtics or the Knicks or the Lakers are playing deep into the NBA, it's just good for the whole sport. Like, because more people know who they are. So it just kind of bring more attention to it. But I don't know who I think I want to win a championship. I don't have any favorite teams. I just like different players. But it's looking good right now. It's looking good.
Uh-oh. So if you have any questions, you can call in at 410-929-6835 if you have any questions for Q Harcum about juicing or whatever and the benefits of it. Give us a call at 410-929-6835. So Tan.
And I have one more question. How can we help our youth if they want to create new business endeavors? Like, what advice would you give to them?
I would definitely say just try to start a bit. Just try starting a business. Don't when you're young, you're not as afraid. Don't overthink it, and think about how to solve a problem. All business is problem solving. So a lot of times people want to start a business. Young people want to start a business based off what they like, which is cool. But if you like it, I mean, somebody else is already doing it. They already solved that problem for you. So unless you need to make that thing better, just go solve a problem, and you're gonna get paid. Like the kids that sell candy in school, it's because they can't get candy in the classroom, so I'm gonna buy it from you right now in the hallway. Or they don't have the candy I want in the cafeteria, so I'm gonna buy it from you right here at the locker. It solves the problem of getting me what I want now. So I would tell any young person, what's a problem that you're having? How can you solve that problem? Or what's a problem that your homies are having? How can you solve that problem?
Well, this is my birthday week, so I need to start, I mean, I'm already nice looking. I mean, I need something for the beauty. You know what I mean? Keep it chocolate, That's why I need to be on. Shout out to the Love Doctor here in the audience, my brother Bernard Morgan. I need to be on the Love Doctor because I look so good. You know what I mean? Had me on that Chocolate Thunder, the velvet teddy bear. Put me on that. But we want to really thank you, Mr. Harcum, for coming through, man. And you have anything you might want to say to wrap it up, and your social media handle.
Yeah, sure. So I really appreciate you guys having me. For one, I'm glad I get to share some of my story and answer some questions. Hopefully that can be helpful to somebody. On Instagram, I'm at StringerQuell. It's a Baltimore thing. And if you want to learn any more about what I have going on in business right now, I focus on digital marketing, specifically email and newsletter marketing for businesses. You can go to my newsletter. So it's StringerQuell at Beehive. So Beehive is spelled Beehiiv. But it's only one Stringer Quell in the world. So if you just Google Stringer Quell, you can find me online anywhere.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming. And look, let's shout out to our sponsors, Brainstream Media, Tone Drone Productions, Moe's Seafood. Man, you got to come check. Boy, I'm talking about them crab cakes. And Play It Again Sports, where?
Simonium. And we'll be back with our next guest.
Our mission focuses on showcasing local and global talent of all ages on and off the field. We will strive to inspire, educate, and bridge the divides through our media collaboration. Our goal is to give student athletes and coaches the platform to let their talents be seen and a platform for the community to let their voices be heard. This is the Union Media Group.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Carter version.
Welcome back, Carter version.
That's right. I'm
today.
glad you with it. I'm your host, Coach Sad.
And I'm your host, Coach Tantan, and we are here with Malik Hamm. What's
Baltimore
up?
Ravens
What's up? The last time I saw you was at the City versus Poly game. Poly versus City, City versus Poly. Does it matter? Does that matter?
It definitely matter. You know, City always come first. City Poly for sure.
Okay. So what's new? What's been going on with you since then? Tell us a little bit about what's been going on.
I mean, you know, after the season, you kind of just take a step back. I kind of just, you feel me, just regenerate, get ready for next season, you know, spend time with your family. So I just kind of been doing that.
Good.
So you came out of City College what year?
2018.
Oh, 2018. Okay. So when I was at Poly from 06 to 12, we were smashing them, but you know,
Not no more.
I can't talk no more because they on the roll. And then now I'm actually coaching at City College. So
for real? Oh,
yeah, I'll be the O-line coach next year.
There we go.
So I don't know if it's another coach that coached at Poly and City, you know, in one decade, but you know, I guess I might be the first to do so. So tell us what college after. Well, how was your City experience playing at City College, and what college did you go to prior to going to the league?
Oh, yeah. So my granddad went to City. My brother went to City. I went to City. So I kind of knew, like, what it was like before I even went there. So it was nice for me there. You know, you meet a lot of people that you still call friends to the day. You know, I met TJ there and everybody. But, I mean, it was kind of perfect. Like, to me, like, before going there, you kind of hear about it, but you don't really know, like, how important it really is. But once you graduate and you get to meet the alumni and you get to see how much harder you work than a lot of other schools in the city, then you start to know, like, the greatness within it for sure.
Yeah.
And then after I graduated from City, I went to Lafayette College in Easton, Pennsylvania. It's a Patriot League school, so it's a pretty high academic school, I think.
So
City,
that's Ivy League, right?
yeah, it's close. It's close up there.
Wow.
And I think City really prepared me for it, and like it's crazy. Like you really get to see like how much hard work you put into the classroom kind of takes over once you get to that level.
I hear one of your biggest plays was in City, like in the game. Can you elaborate about that?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was really a big play. Like I think that's probably it was good for me because it happened. It was like literally one of my last plays. But I mean, like if you know about it, you know about it. But basically, I helped us win the last game. It was kind of like a last second where I kind of stripped the ball from the running back and helped us score and you know keep that streak alive.
With like seconds on the clock, I heard. Yeah, that was pretty big. But you speak about it so modest, like, you know, like, yeah, I just tackled him in the backfield, right? You know, it was only 30 seconds on the clock, you know. Scoop and score with 30, you know, we down by 5, you know. But they also said you was player of the year at Lafayette your junior and senior year?
Oh, yeah, you know, going to Lafayette, you know, it's just like a little bit like City, like high academic school, a lot of alumni, a lot of history. And, like, I was fortunate enough to have, you know, some good coaches, teammates. Got Defensive Player of the Year twice. You know, that just only helped me, you know, get more recognition as a player, especially coming from a smaller school and trying to make it to the NFL. Like, you know, that type of recognition, you know, helped in the long run. And I'm just thankful for my teammates. You know, they kind of helped me get up there.
So how was the cultural change, like a place from Baltimore to Lafayette?
Woo, that's tough.
Oh yeah, that's a kind of a good question. The best way I can explain it is kind of like if you go from Baltimore into like a John Hopkins, like that type of switch where you go from like a kind of low income in a grand scheme of things to a high income area. I think like for me, the biggest thing that it taught me was like it's like a different level to it's a different level in life like that you gotta work for to get to. Like you can either want to strive to stay in Baltimore, stay with your peers, or you can want to work hard, get to that high income that you really want for real. But it also taught me like you gotta be able to explore different cultures. You can't just be the same person. You gotta grow as a person in order, to kind of reach that level of greatness that you want.
So was it a culture shock to you?
I mean, yeah, I'll say a little bit, but at the same time, I'm not gonna you can't let a culture shock kind of dictate how you gonna act. You kind of gotta do your own thing, and you can't just go in there and act like you're not in a different place. But
Right.
You can't let that change who you are as a person. I would say.
So how was your how was that jump from college to the league? I mean, was it being drafted? Was it like how was that process?
I mean, it was hard. I actually went undrafted, so this is gonna be coming on my third year. So, coming from a small school, it's really like you really kind of beating the odds if you kind of even make it to a team. And I would say, like, for me, I just kind of use what I learned as kind of throughout my whole life. Like, you kind of just got to lock in, just put in the work. And you can't really just be, you kind of just got to put in the work and just be okay with the results. Because at the end of the day, you just got to control what you can control. And the only thing you really can control is how much work you're going to put in, the type of attitude you're going to have. And, you just got to let the results fall where they fall, for sure.
Wow.
And speaking of like shocks, was it a shock to you when you were chosen to be on the Baltimore Ravens, or was it something like you already knew, like you had it in the bag? Like, how did that go?
I mean, like, you kind of got to have confidence in yourself to kind of know, like, you feel me? Like, I belong here. And that's with anything in life. Even if if you working at KFC, you got to be the best KFC worker, you feel me? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You just got to be the best KFC worker that you can be. And I think for me, like, I just kind of had that attitude where I'm going to just keep putting in the work. And, it's all a process, and we all still in the process. And you just can't be never satisfied. You just got to keep working.
So last year you had a season-ending injury. How was that? And would you perceive to have been on the field more than you thought you would have?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, especially for me, like I'm still trying to prove myself as a player. Like, I know I still got belief in myself, but with any injury, no matter big or small, like I ended up touring my ACL, and that happened like early in camp, so I was kind of out the whole year. But that kind of just forced me to focus on myself and kind of see who I am as a person, who I am as a player. And, it just made me have a stronger mental strength, because at the end of the day, like, when you can't really go out there and perform physically, you got to still go in. You got to still go into the facility. You still got to put in the work to, get back out there and, to play. So it kind of helped me in the long run on terms of mentally, like being mentally strong, for sure.
Nice.
We're going to transition to a quick video clip of you.
Attitude and effort are two things Hamm controlled. Ravens first-year defensive coordinator Zach Orr says Hamm is one of the hardest workers on the team.
He looks just like he picked up where he left off last year. He looks explosive, he looks strong. I'm excited to see him once we get the pads on here, next practice and then in the preseason games. But Malik Hamm, he's a real dude.
A dude that has head coach John Harbaugh excited.
I can't wait to see him out there in games. I mean, He's a guy we really liked last year. He's healthy. He looks strong to me. Another guy we're excited to see. He looks.
Attitude and effort are two things Hamm can.
All right. How does it feel to have coaches speak highly of you and your ability on the field? How does that feel?
I think any type of gratitude is good, no matter where it comes from, especially, but hearing it from, your coach and your DC, it's a good feeling. It kind of confirms the work that you put in. And I think it also makes you want to keep doing it because obviously you're doing something right. And I just think that for me, like the one thing I would say is you just got to keep working hard, try to outwork everybody that you kind of surrounded by because, at the end of the day, you got to have a mentality that you want to be the best no matter what you do. Like I said, if you're a KFC worker, you got to be, the best KFC worker that you could be. But you just got to keep putting in the work for sure.
Well, here's a question, right? Because I watched my son, he's at Mount St. Joe. He's going into his senior year. He's a junior now, starting center. And I'm going to tell you, man, he's so focused sometimes that it kind of scares me. Because I'm like, you don't even really, because it's just like football, workout, academics. And so to me, it's almost like Groundhog's Day, right? Every day, it's it seems to be monotonous. So what can you tell the kids that's doing what you do to kind of stay focused, to kind of see on the other side of the brick wall without actually seeing it, right? So what can you tell them to kind of keep them focused without actually seeing it?
I got you. I would say you kind of gotta have a dream in your head what you want to achieve. You may not be able to see the brick wall in the future, but in your head you got an idea of what you want to achieve.
Right.
And I would say you just gotta put your head down and keep working, and then eventually, every once in a while, you look up. I ain't gonna lie, when I got signed with the Ravens, I was like, oh shit, I made it to the Ravens, but that didn't stop me from putting my head back down and keep working because it's not where you want to be at yet. You feel me? You just can't ever be satisfied. And I think that's what kind of a lot of people kind of fall out with their dreams because it's kind of oh, I did good enough. But, you can always put in a little bit more work. And it may get monotonous, but that's kind of what you sign up for and what you want.
Absolutely.
That's not I wouldn't say that's a bad habit to have at all. It's kind of a good habit to have.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what are your expectations for the upcoming season?
I would say first stay healthy for the whole year. That's my number one goal. And then get out there on the field. And then, I think for me, it's just I just got to continue to do what I did my whole life. I feel like I've been successful at every level that I played football. So I just got to get on the field and then show it, to be honest.
Speaking of healthy, what are some things that you do to stay healthy?
Yeah, I would say I actually learned that, I'm not sure how true it is, but somebody told me that if you walk a mile, you can get the same amount of exercise in as if you jog a mile. So I've been walking a little bit more, along with working out and stuff, but I know the average person not going to probably spend 3 hours in the gym. But I would say just walking. And I would say a big thing for me in terms of nutrition was that's food. If you don't, in nutrition would be I wouldn't don't try to flip your whole diet around into something just try to do what works for you, for real. And I would also say just a little bit of change. If you change 1% every day, then one day you could look up and you did a whole 180 on what your diet was, your workout habits, and everything. So just attack it 1% at a time. Don't ever think you gotta do everything at one time. You just gotta keep working at it, small bits.
You're a pretty big dude, man. I was shocked when I was like, God, man, he looked like a tight end. But your playing weight at high school, is it the same, or have you gotten bigger? Like, what was your playing weight at high school versus now?
Nah, I'm definitely not the same weight as in high school, but I would say I would say I gained like 20 pounds since high school, but the main thing was probably be like the amount of muscle you gain, for real.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, no matter, like, when you get to high school, when you get to college, like, you're going to get stronger, like, just because, like, if you think of yourself from when you're 14 and when you're 21, like, it's going to be a big difference between being, you know, a kid and a grown man at that point.
So, can you tell me about your position and what you do in your position? For somebody like me who's still learning football, can you just explain what it is that you do?
Yeah, I play outside linebacker, so the best bet you probably get is just wait till the defense come on the field and just look for the person who's sacking the quarterback. Right? And that's probably the best I could do for you. But you just got to keep looking, like, just look for their number, and I feel like you'll be good.
So, you know, we get back in the playoffs. I'm just hoping that and I say we, you know, because we got Kansas City Chiefs fan in the audience, a big Kansas City Chiefs fan. So we just want to maybe get them in the playoffs one good time and beat them. So tell me what you think about. Can we get that, Doug, with them?
Yeah, for sure. We just got, like I said, you just got to keep working. Like, eventually the tide going to turn, you know?
Yeah, you say it's
like,
going to turn.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess my last thing is, if you can give any advice to our youth, because I love that, if they want to play in the NFL, like, what advice would you give them?
I feel like a big thing for me, like, especially as a kid, I guess my parents and my family played a big role in, you know, building confidence in me, because I say this a lot, but I feel like a lot of times, like when a kid tell you their dreams, a lot of people, like, they'd be like, oh, you want to go to the NFL? That they'd kind of say, they'd cheer for you, but they'd kind of look at you sideways. And I feel like that's what, whatever you do, like, you can say you want to make a business, and people might look at you like you crazy, but so you just got to believe in yourself. Like, as long as you believe in your dream and you putting in the work to achieve your dream, then that's the only thing that really matters at that point. So I would just say, keep putting in the work, put your head down, and eventually, like, when you look up, like, you're going to have what you dream for sure.
Also, let everybody know where they can follow you and where they can keep up with you.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Maniac Hamm, and that's my handle on all my other social
Say
media.
Maniac?
Yeah. So that's everything.
Maniac on Sundays, right? Absolutely, man. So shout out to our sponsors, Brainstream, Tone Drone Productions, Mo's Seafood, Play It Again Sports.
Simonia.
And remember, we got the my offensive line camp is June the 7th, Edgewood. It's the Big Uglies present the 5-on-5 O-line camp and competition. It's a team event, so it'll be 12U, 13/14U, be June 7th, 10:30 to 2. Cunyon Field, Edgewood is free. It's free of charge. It's free of charge. And we're trying to get Big Hamm to come check it out June the 7th if not doing nothing. So it's a team event. Don't come as an individual because I'm going to send you home. So come as a team, and we're gonna get it done. No ballerinas, so we don't want no quarterbacks. We don't want no tailbacks. We don't want none of that. It's strictly offensive linemen, the Big Uglies, so we can come get some work done.
Hey, what about me?
I'm not. You can come.
I'm not invited.
You can come.
You got a job for me to do?
Yeah, water.
Can I help you, Coach?
Hydrate.
Oh, I can
coach.
do that. All right, I can do that. I can do that. That's good.
Hydration counselor.
Thank you so much for coming. We truly appreciate it. Shout out to our previous guest, Quintel. It's been an amazing show. If I do say so myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll be back in another 2 weeks. Thank
Big
you
birthday
all for
week,
tuning
Coach
in.
said, too.
Yeah.
I'll be Lawrence Taylor this year, 56.
Wait a minute. Birthday. Shout out when.
Yeah,
Tell us.
56. March 23rd. It'll be Sunday is my birthday, so I won't be back prior to then. But
Happy early birthday.
that's right. Get it in.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
tried to throw it early in there. It didn't sound
I
that good.
appreciate,
But
I appreciate it.
shout outs to all our viewers. Thank you for my baby. He came in here. To Mo's Seafood. Everybody come to Mo's Seafood. Come get your drinks. Come get your food. And we'll be back in another 2 weeks.